Finally, we're going to talk about partial sums of arithmetic sequences. Remember, an arithmetic sequence is an A1, A2, A3, where each of these are separated by a certain distance or difference, either one, some word that starts with D. And so you may recall we had our nth term is equal to our first term plus n minus 1 times d. And it's okay to memorize that, but really be ready to generate that. That's the better thing to do. But now I want to talk about summing up these things. So I have a1 plus a2 plus a3 plus plus a sub n. And I want to develop a formula for what these partial sums will be. S1 is going to be just the first term. I'm just taking the first term, I'm not adding anything to it, that's my sum. S2 is going to be A1 plus A2. But you remember A2 was A1 plus D, so that's A1 plus A1 plus D. S3 is going to be A1 plus basically S2, but then I'm going to add another one, A1 plus D plus A1 plus D plus D. So in each case, I'm going to be adding one less than this number times the number of D's. And so let's write out S4 then. S4 is going to be A1 plus, and let's put parentheses around these, that'll help you. A1 plus D plus A1 plus D plus D, and my fourth term is going to be A1 plus D plus D plus D. I can write all that, now I can see a pattern. I see A1, oh, and this is A1 plus 2D. This is A1 plus, oh, I'm sorry, this is A1 plus D. Sorry to mess you up. A1 plus 2D, and then A1 plus 3 of them, 3D. Now I'm going to employ this trick. I'm going to add S4 to itself. I'm going to write another S4, but this time I'm going to write it backwards. I'm going to start with this term, A1 plus 3D, and then I'm going to add this next term, A1 plus 2D, and then I'm going to add A1 plus D, and finally my A1. All I did was reverse the order, and you'll see why. Because now, when I add this, I get 2A1 plus 3D. When I add this, I get 2A1 plus 3D. When I add this, I get 2A1 plus 3D. And when I add this, I get 2A1 plus 3D. Running out of room, of course, on this small board. Because I added S4 to itself, I can write 2 times the partial sum taken 4 times is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 2A1 plus 3D. Well, I have a 2 here and a 4 here. I can divide this is an equation, so I'm going to divide by 2, and I get that S4 is equal to 2 times 2A1 plus 3D. And now I can jump to the general formula, which is S of n is equal to 2. This 2 here does not rely on the 4. That will always be there. Times 2 times the first term plus n minus 1 times d. Let's put brackets here so you know what's going on. So if I know that I have an arithmetic sequence, I know that I have a d. I'll also know what my first term is. If I want to know what the partial sum is for n terms, this is my simple equation to follow.